In this video, we're going to talk about how to succeed once you get into a good high ticket sales job. So lots of people get into good sales jobs, whether that's high ticket or not, but lots of people drop out. They don't go on to make the money that they thought they were going to make. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, is how you can actually succeed and make the money that you dream about making after you get into that really good role. So kind of technical video, but this is what I see happen with a lot of people. They think, oh, once I get the job, it's over. Everything's just going to happen for me. But that's really when the work begins. So if you do the stuff I'm about to talk about, you'll be fine. Now, the first thing I would say is when you get hired, you should really focus on trying to stand out and separate yourself from the other closers. Now, this might sound obvious, but I see zero people ever actually do this. Zero, okay? When you get into the role for like the first 3 months, I wouldn't do anything else but that sales role. And I mean nothing else. Now, do you have to do that to succeed? No, but that's not really the point. We're trying to ensure your success, give you the greatest chance to succeed. So what I would do is for 3 months, I would cut everything out. No social shit, no fucking girls, no fucking TV. What are you doing? You know, like no distractions. Anything that isn't that sales role does not work, cut it out completely. So what are ways you can do that? Because you take your sales calls during the day, work your shift, whatever. What do you do outside of that? What does that mean? You could learn the product better than everyone else. So you could study the product. How often do people do that in sales roles? Fucking never. You could offer to take extra calls. You could study the sales funnel. You could work way more hours than they ask you to work. Like there's endless ways to do this, right? If you are obsessed with something, like you're just gonna do it 24/7. And what do you think that's gonna translate to? Fat fucking numbers in your bank account. If you come in and you do that, two things are going to happen. One is you're just gonna get really good fast. You're gonna lap everyone else on the team and you're quickly gonna start making really good money, obviously. The second thing that will happen is you're making a really good impression on the business and the rest of the team. So this sets you up to have a lot of momentum at the end of that 3 months or however long you choose to do this when you go back to a normal schedule or you dial it back or however you want to do it, right? At that point, you've got 3 months of momentum and you're stacking money, and that's a really good place to be, and it's going to feel amazing, all because you sacrificed like 3 months of your life when you got into the role and you were just an obsessed weirdo. Also, if you decide to move on later, the business owner is obviously going to give you like a glowing recommendation. So you make a good impression, you crush it, you make more money, like, you know, it's like all upsides. And this is probably the main reason I'm making this video and why I made it number one, even though it sounds kind of cliche, is I tell people to do this. Anytime I put someone in a role, this is like my standard. I do this with every client, every person I help. I'm like, hey, this is what you should do. We got you the role, do this. Okay, I'm like, just go psycho for a few months. Just come in blazing, cut everything else out of your life. And guess what? 99% of them don't do it. They do the bare minimum, like 99% of people on earth. That's just what they do, which to me is dumb. Like you landed this sales role where you can now make a lot of money. Like you put in whatever amount of work you had to put in to get to this point, but you're now not willing to go completely all in and cut everything else out for a while. This makes no sense to me. You can't say that you want to make a lot of money and then behave the complete opposite. You know? Next thing, being good at closing is great, okay? So let's say you get into the role and you're doing really well, like you're succeeding, because I know a lot of people watching this, they're gonna be fine, right? You're gonna get into a role and you're gonna crush it. But no matter how good you are at sales, you will still need to learn other things if you want to move forward. So what does this mean? Basically, you want to learn other skills that translate to revenue, to translate to the business succeeding. So what are extra skills that you can learn as a salesperson that would benefit the business and also your future sales career? The first and most obvious one is lead generation, okay? But not always in the way that you think. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. The first one is a real life example that one of my mentors in high ticket told me. So he had a sales rep that he worked with who was using a unique way to generate leads and close prospects who were on the fence. So what this rep would do is he set up a private business Instagram profile. So it's like a personal page but he only uses it for work and work people, and it's private, right? And then every single person that he would speak to on any call or any meeting, he would just funnel them to that Instagram page, like very casually, like, hey, let's connect on Instagram, right? But he would treat it like a normal Instagram account. So he would just post like normal shit he was doing in his life, post on his story, and he doesn't put his company in his bio or talk about what he's selling at all. Nothing on the Instagram. And he's not trying to sell people on his thing on the Instagram, basically, like at all. But he interacts with every single person who follows him. So he just treats it like a personal page. You see what I'm saying? And all these people are prospective buyers, by the way. He interacts with their accounts, with their posts all the time. So he's always like top of mind, right? They're always thinking about him. And I don't just mean like, oh, he would leave a comment or a like or whatever. He would send them voice notes. He would like share funny reels with them, like the way you would with your boys. Like he really interacted with them. And then sometimes from doing this, he would close sales without even trying, just from using his Instagram in a normal way and like interacting with these people. And the reason this is so killer is because he's always top of their mind and he's not really trying to sell them anything. But when it comes time for them to buy that service that they already expressed interest in weeks, maybe months ago, and now they are ready to buy, who do you think they're going to think of? Him, obviously. So like all these people who he's funneling to this like personal private Instagram, they're good fits for his business's service, but he never brings it up with them. He just constantly interacts with them on Instagram. That is like some nuclear fucking type nurturing right there. So again, like when they're ready to buy that thing, who are they gonna think of? Him, not the guy who's been like texting them the same generic corporate follow-up message once a week. Like, hey, this is Brad from LinkedIn. At your next convenience, would you like to schedule a follow-up call so we can jerk each other off, you know? Like, no, I don't wanna do that, Brad. Go fuck yourself. Again, this was not my idea, but this is how like people are doing things these days. Like stuff like this. Using social media in any way to make more sales is a great idea. Like, so I would get on that train or get left behind. The point is just to show you, like, the point of this example is just to show you how to think outside the box. So that closer came up with that idea on his own, which you can use, by the way. And now he's making like double the money he was before, all just from that. So if the lead generation or the follow-ups you've been doing in your closer role are not working so great anymore, maybe try something new. How could you use social media differently? How can you generate leads in an efficient way that will bring you more calls and more revenue for your business? Now, some other standard ways you can do lead generation for your business on top of closing. You could cold email people. You could learn that skill. And if you learn that on your own time and you start generating qualified leads for the business that you sell for and it's unprompted, they're going to be like, who the fuck are you, right? They've never seen anyone do that before. Bro, you're gonna be like the golden child, you know? Because everyone's just, they just do the same shit, the bare minimum. They never wanna try to do anything, you know? Or like even cold calling, like it's the same thing. It's just more qualified leads that you're bringing for the business. The point is, if you're already in a decent closer role, which is the whole premise we're coming from in this video, and you wanna move up and separate yourself, lead generation in any form is the first way I would be doing that. And if you do this, you are closing and doing some lead generation on the side and you're learning how to do that. Now you've got two skills, lead generation and sales. You've developed the two most vital skills for making a lot of money. Where do the people come from? Close them and get their money. You know, like it's literally that simple. If you can generate leads, like drive traffic and close them, you are now good at the two most important things for making tons and tons of money. So people like will say they want that. Oh yeah, I want to be rich, bro. But I'm like, do these things. And they're like, I'll just do the bare minimum. Maybe later. But once you develop these skills, you could go and start your own thing. Like you could go and start your own business. And if you don't want to do that and you want to keep doing the closing, any business that you sell for or want to sell for is going to be clawing to get you to sell for them. Like they'll be competing over you. This is how you make 30K plus a month as a closer and more. And it's not even hard to do. You just need to do the work and get good at it. Try. And with the lead generation, I just gave you like 3 ways to do that. You could use social media. You could do what I talked about in that story. You could learn cold email. You could cold call. And if you take, that's just a few of them. And if you take the initiative and learn that stuff, that's only going to translate to you making more money and getting better roles, etc. So a few things to remember about that though is if you decide to do lead generation for a business that you sell for, just make sure it's a good business, right? And they have a good product. You don't want to spend all this upfront work and time if the offer you're on kind of sucks or is even mediocre and then all the leads you're bringing in are not getting fulfilled on, right? It's kind of a waste of your time. So just make sure it's for a legit business. Now, because I know someone's going to ask, a quick overview on how you can do cold email. It's not really that hard to learn. It's just probably the only technical one out of the 3 that I mentioned. It's super cheap to do. You can scale this in large fucking numbers easily every single day, and it barely takes any time at all. You just need to go to YouTube or go to Claude or ChatGPT, and it will literally tell you the exact steps, okay? But basically, you're gonna have to buy domains to email from. You're gonna get an email sending software, which does all the work for you, and that's cheap as well. You're gonna get the contacts, and then you're just gonna make up a few email sequences with the software, write 5 to 6 follow-up emails, and turn it on. Press the button. Like that's very general, but you can go to Claude and just say, hey, I wanna do this. That paragraph I just said, tell me how to do this in detail. What software should I use? How do I buy the domains? Where do I get the contacts and the leads? It will tell you in like 1 prompt, you know? Then all you have to do once you turn it on is just monitor and manage the inbox. Because all the emails are being sent automatically for you by the software to tens of thousands of people. And from there, once you start getting into conversations in those emails and getting people onto calls and then closing them, all right, you can take like a 35% commission for every one of those you close because you generated the lead. So instead of getting the 10% commission you normally get as a closer, now you're doing this extra work, which really isn't that difficult because the technology is doing the work for you. And now you can make way more money for every sale. Do you know how much a jump from 10% to 35% is on a sale? It's a lot. On every sale. And you just learned an extremely valuable skill. And the business owner is like, where the fuck did you come from? I've never seen anyone do this shit, right? So all of this is upsides. But no one wants to do any extra work these days. Everyone's a bare minimum guy. Did I do enough work yet, guy? Is that enough yet, guy? You're gonna go nowhere, guy. Most B2B businesses, for sure B2B, can benefit from cold emailing. So I would say that's probably more in the B2B space if you're on a B2B offer, because you're not really gonna cold email someone and ask them if they want a fitness coaching program, you know what I'm saying? But just something to be aware of. And if you're just getting started as a closer, go get good at closing. Do what I talked about at the beginning of the video. Go psycho for 3 months, 6 months, however long you want to do that. But if you're moving now and you want to make more money and you don't want to search for a new offer, because no one wants to do that usually, these are super efficient, easy ways to do that, to make more money where you're currently at, to move up. Learn skills like lead gen that can make you more money in the role. Lead gen to me is just a no-brainer because you're already selling, just increase the traffic so you can make more revenue and more sales and get higher commissions, percentages. Lastly, you can also do paid advertisements, but I'm not really including it as a main focus in this video because that is going to take you time to learn. You're going to burn some money for sure to try to figure that out. Most people watching this video are not there yet. You will have to spend money to figure that out. You'll have to do the ad creatives. It takes a lot of work to figure that out, what ads work, which ones don't, and you're gonna have to build out the sales funnel on the back end of it, like where are you sending these leads from the ads, things like that. So it's not just to like a DM conversation or an email conversation like you can do with the cold email and stuff or the cold calling. So most people watching this video are not at the paid ads point, but that's something you can do too. If you learn that shit, like just go start your own business. Like you're crushing ads and you're a sales killer, what are you doing on an offer? Go start your own thing. The point of this video is that once you get good at closing and you want to level up and make more money, it helps to know how to do other things that really aren't that hard to learn. So why wouldn't you just go learn them? Because it's not as stimulating as TikTok videos. That's why. Sit with that for a second. Lastly, how to be better than any other closer and make a ton of money, and end of video encouragement. Getting a good role is the main thing you want to focus on. Like I say that every day, 24/7. Once you have done that, now you are in a good spot. Now you just need to take it seriously and work hard. But once you get into this, you're going to find out that many closers who are in these like 10K a month roles, 15K a month roles, they're not really any different than you. Some of them may not even be working that hard. So like take these people and these opportunities off of a pedestal. You can do this too, okay? Once you get the role, go all in. Take this seriously. You can be better than most people, okay? It just takes work, and most people don't want to do that constantly or consistently. They just want to do the bare minimum. Like that's why people say things to you like the competition is terrible, the bar's in the toilet, like all those things are true because everyone just wants to do the bare minimum. All you have to do is try a little bit harder and you just will backhand smack everyone else. Literally. If you can do that shit, if you're like hungry and driven, you can do anything you want. You can make any amount of money you want. There's just too many comforts and distractions these days, and most people are just not really about it. They want to do the bare minimum and watch Netflix for 6 hours a night and rot away. So if you are hungry and driven, do you know how many business owners want to hire a salesperson like that? All of them. People like that are very hard to find. So there's nowhere you can't go if you're hungry and driven and willing to work hard. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting into high ticket sales, go to the links in the description. Until next time.